Welcome back, everybody. We have another fantastic run from a similar series, same series even as the previous run. It's Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. So we got the full game here, run by Steg, and his commentators are Wizard Hawk and Sergeant Silent. So take it away, guys.
Hello.
All right. Hands and limbs.
Kazuhira Miller is being held in Dawandehar to the north. Check its location now. Take out your iDroid. You see Wandy on the map? That's where they're keeping Miller. Only problem is we don't know his exact location. Finding it is your first priority. Got your binoculars? Or should I say your int scope? See the village? Straight ahead? Alright, that's the village. If you see something through the binoculars and you need more information, just give me a call. I'll tell you anything I can about it. That's Violo Village. The Violo Calais. The villagers fled the war and evacuated a while back.
The target is Kazuhira Miller, your old partner. He was captured by the Soviets and is being held at Wanday. He's gonna look a lot worse than that photo, but I'm sure you'll know him when you see him.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun, but I've also been taking part of pretty much everything. What about you guys? What about you, Wizard? How are you liking it?
It's been pretty fun. The tournament last day was pretty nice. Although I know nothing about the MSX game. I can say that the horse jumping is definitely not RNG, it's just player.
You've reached Wanday. Miller is being held somewhere in that town. But we don't know exactly where he is. You can keep gathering intel or make an entry into the town now. Don't leave bodies out in the open. Find some place to drop them out of sight.
Yeah, the other guy is very unfortunate.
We have a bit of a tech issue. Can you unmute your mic in OBS?
You've secured the target.
Apparently no one's been able to hear you.
Oh, good.
Also there was a notion of if you'd like to restart, we can do that, or we could just keep going.
I'm fine to just keep going. Because I mean, we're
OBS
already
percent.
OBS percent. Oh, good.
All right. Well, we can hear you now, so that's solved.
Hi,
If
hello.
you're cool to keep going, up to you. Hello, Steg.
Hi,
How are you doing,
howdy.
Steg?
Doing good.
World record. Oh,
Been,
meta.
been talking to the wall for the last few minutes, I guess, but that's fine. Okay,
Just
D-Horse,
tell us all
please.
again.
Yeah, okay, so we triggered an alert at that other outpost, and we do that because it changes the guard pattern up here, and we, nobody else really does that. That's kind of a me thing, but I just kind of like to do that because sometimes it can save time, other times we get what would happen there, and then we're going to move up here with, so we do a little trick here called the cigar buffer. It lets us automatically use the cigar whenever we're actually able to do so. So as soon as we get off a D-Horse, we instantly smoke the cigar that we had equipped. Then we can hop back on D-Horse to trigger this cutscene here. Then we just fire some bullets here at the skulls that showed up, and we can just keep running. From here, it's all just easy peasy, just follow the route to get to the chopper. There's a small chance that Miller can die, but that really depends on if he took any damage in the previous portion. If he got shot up a lot, then there's a chance he could die here and be very sad. We have to actually worry about this portion. But I believe we got through without getting hit too much, so we should be good.
Yeah. Just to get one thing out of the way, you cannot call Peakwood the first time you play this mission. So no, we can't call Peakwood to close the LZ.
Yeah, I still get comments on that one.
So I'm mostly here to ask questions, and if it's alright, I'm going to start with my first one. Can you explain roughly how HP works in this game? Like, when are we at risk of death and stuff like that?
The Phantom Pain and Ground Zeroes work on Call of Duty health logic, where your screen will start filling up with jam if you get hit by too many bullets. And once it goes to red, you fall over and die. But if you manage to hide for a little bit, that snake will eat that jam, and then you'll be healed up and ready to move on.
Is there a visual cue when you know this is bad, or are you just kind of hoping?
There's visual and there's also audio cue, actually. So you can kind of tell when you're nearing the end because the audio starts to sound further away. You can hear snakes breathing a little heavier. So you get that, and the tint of the screen becomes a very deep red. It's pretty clear when things are getting really bad.
Okay, all right. Thank you for the explanation.
You can actually recover your HP a bit faster if you stand down, if you crouch, if you vault. Not if you vault, but yeah, if you stay still, you're going to recover your health a lot faster, and if you're running, you're going to recover it a lot slower.
Yeah,
but obviously we don't want to stand still, right?
That's right.
Gotta go fast.
It's a
but
balance.
If you're on D-Horse, you're fine.
Yeah, it's a balance where you kind of have to. This is new. So it's a little. He's never right here. I kind of goofed, actually. Okay, there we go. I fixed it. That's the first. So normally I just dolphin dive up to him. When you get off the chopper, you're locked into a very slow walking animation to just catch up to Ocelot. So you dolphin dive over to him. I kind of forgot where I was for a moment, and when we come here for other reasons, I just take pot shots at him for fun. So that's why he was out of position, but it worked out. Probably a time save that I didn't think of. So this mission is just teaching you how to operate Mother Base while also teaching you how to use like CQC, develop weapons, staff management, all that fun stuff. So we're going to call in a cardboard box here. Just keep going through the lessons as fast as possible. Take a clean up the shower here, restore our psych, essentially. In this game, as you progress, Snake will eventually get worse at combat. His aiming will start going all over the place. He'll heal slower. So you have to return to Mother Base to take showers. But for the speedrun, we don't ever have to worry about that. We're not in the field, quote-unquote, long enough for that to take effect. So now we're just waiting for us to have permission to use the helicopter, finally. Once we do that, we're going to be in the ACC, which is our kind of the main menu for the game. When we're there, we're going to be using a trick called the chopper skip. Wizard, do you want to explain how that works for everyone?
It's kind of weird. So what you have to do is you have to select a mission that starts with a cutscene. Then you have to press up, down, left or right to select another mission. And when you do that, you need to do select. And when that happens, you're going to select the other mission, but the map will still the map of the other mission that starts with cutscene. And that should, when you confirm to start the mission, you don't need to select the LZ, and it should just bring you up to the prep screen, and you can just drop down. You're going to drop in a pseudo random location instantly without needing to wait for the chopper ride. Oh, and also in Diamond Dogs you can skip Ocelot's speech. That's why I said you didn't get the skip, because you can skip the dialogue.
Yeah, there's a line of dialogue you can skip. It's a very small time save, but on that mission you have to get anything you can go for. There's very little in terms of what you can do to speed up the process.
If anything, you can slow down.
Yeah,
and lose a lot of time.
That's true. Right, so we're going to have our first chopper skip here. We're going to be selecting the mission C2W. It's a sabotage mission. So we select Diamond Dogs, go down to C2W. I'm going to select 6 a.m. You can just do ASAP, but I try to squeeze in a couple day missions early on because of the revenge system to try to reduce the odds of enemies having night vision goggles later on in the run. And here we're going to use a cigar to call D-Horse. So there is a perk with using the chopper skip. The game doesn't consider your buddies loaded in the first time you load in the mission. So you have to use a cigar to have them get supply dropped in, or you have to do a checkpoint. Checkpointing is the faster way to go about doing things, but for the first few missions of the game, we actually are going to be using the cigar. Metza made a really cool discovery a couple years ago when he and I were last going for world record grinds. What we found out is there's a section of the game later on where we are going to be waiting for part of our base to develop, and there's a somewhat random timer that we have to wait for. And what he discovered was we can actually get the best possible timer not only by going through the missions as quickly as possible, but also by doing as few checkpoints as possible. So what we found out was doing the checkpoints, which is the faster way of getting D-Horse back into the mission, was actually slowing us down in the long run because of how the game takes that bit into account. So I'm going to just throw a quick couple of grenades here. Ideally only takes one, but want to throw that back up for marathon safety.
Sometimes when you check the grenade in, it will destroy the lights, but will not actually destroy the comms equipment.
Yep.
I had that happen quite a few times.
Okay, and we got the fast exit too. Beautiful. So you can actually completely skip Miller's dialogue if you can cigar before he starts talking. So we do a little cigar buffer, and then if you know exactly where the exit is for the mission, you can land. Snake will instantly pull out the cigar before Miller has a chance to talk. If you're just a little bit off, Miller starts yabbing, and the whole thing's ruined.
It's kind of precise for you to get that exit.
Yeah, and messing up costs a lot of time, because then you have to go through the cigar, which is a really slow process. Okay.
Oh yeah, you actually need to wait for the animation to finish.
Mm-hmm. We're going to head back to Mother Base, and we're going to do our first bit of development. We're going to create the sniper rifle, equip it from this menu, and then the C4 and do the same. And then we're going to go into a Hero's Way, and we want Night for this mission. So this mission has always had varying levels of straightforwardness. Like, the objective we've always gone with is just sniping the target. But where and when we've been doing that has... God dang it. Got to take a checkpoint. When we've been doing that has changed based on like what method we're using. Like, the run has had changes to it that has necessitated like us changing sniper spots a couple of times. Ideally, I should get the cigar there, but that causes the target to move into the middle of the base further ahead to a spot where we can technically easily get a headshot on him, but I hate the sniper rifle. I have a really tough time getting that shot. Since we got the checkpoint...
The scope is awful.
Oh, the scope stinks. Since we got the checkpoint, though, we're just going to ride over here and snipe the target through the window, so you can kind of see him there. We're just going to do a couple of quick body shots, call that good. Oop. A little too hasty. There we go. Okay, and then we'll just ride over here. Maybe get this? Nope.
You've made it out of the hot zone. No sign of the enemy. Mission complete, boss.
Okay.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Yeah, not ideal, but...
There are times where you use the scar for too long and he's inside.
Mm-hmm.
Our army is growing like
Yeah, that's how it goes. So we've got a bit of time. Yeah, well, what's up?
The amount of stuff that's just in a game like this, like there's Peace Walker where each mission is its own IL, but in this, like, it's not just its own IL. Each mission could arguably be its own like mini game. There's so much you could do in each of these missions. It's crazy just how moving here to take this shot, or just knowing where somebody is at this time of day, and like you save 20 seconds just because you take him out at a different kind of day. That's mind-blowing how big this game actually is.
Yeah, previously we did daytime for that mission, and the target actually starts outside if you do that. He goes up to the second floor of that building. So we actually ride to a totally different part of the map to go and shoot him. So that the strategy there has just changed a lot over time, trying to figure out the best way to go about it. And because we now have to rely on cigars to get a better base development, we have to adapt again and get a different location for him. So we're going to the Honeybee mission now, and this is probably one of the two longest sections of the game. So we're gonna cigar here to get D-Horse real quick. Just wait for that that helicopter sound to pass by. That's how you know he's finally dropped in. Want to whistle twice to make him appear because he's stubborn and doesn't like to show up on the first one consistently. All right, so for this, we've got a long ride to where we need to go. Our first stop is going to be through a communications relay base. If all goes well, we can just run through that in stealth and not have to worry about anything.
Yeah, Stag, try to throw a grenade close to the relay base, to this base up front.
Why do you want me to do that, buddy? To distract them?
Distract the guards, yeah.
I don't know.
Gotta help sometimes.
But they have snipers, and I don't want those guys on alert. Why are you trying to do this to me? Hey man, try a new strategy in the middle of the marathon.
Yeah, in the middle of the marathon.
I thought about that actually.
Try that shot on retake the platform.
There's a later mission we use D-Walker for, and I was thinking, you know, it's probably faster if we use D-Horse. Maybe I should try that. But I've got to tell myself, no, not right now. Do that later. Do that on your own time, Stag.
We have a question in chat. Is this New Game Plus mode?
No. So New Game Plus would be much different. We wouldn't even be doing this horse ride for this mission. If this was New Game Plus, we'd be on a helicopter ride to actually start this one. It's one of the only couple missions where it's actually faster to go in on P-Quad than it is to use Chopper Skip in New Game Plus. Just because there's just no good way to go about that mission with Chopper Skip. We're just gonna climb up these rocks real quick to get around this base. So New Game Plus, we'd also have a lot of other cool weapons and tools. We have very limited equipment throughout this run. Every piece of equipment we're going to be building is going to be important unless I build something for fashion, some camouflage, you know. But everything else has a reason for us to grab it, whether it's like a grenade launcher to quickly dispatch specific enemies later, or a missile launcher for some long-range missions.
So someone asked if we play all 50 missions, and no, we don't. This is chapter 1.
Yeah.
We play all the missions on True Ending.
Yes.
And chapter 1 is 30 missions, correct?
Yeah.
31,
Well,
I think?
Yeah, 31.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it got cut off back when I was talking to the Void at the start of this. But yeah, this is chapter 1. The final mission will be Sahelanthropus when we defeat Metal Gear Sally at the end of the game. And timing will stop at the credits for that, which is weird. Because I didn't start running this game. I wasn't one of the first people. See, when you come in, you have to kind of go with other people's timing methods beforehand, and they decided instead of like the final like main input and watching all the final cutscenes to skip stuff until you got to the credits. I don't know. Seems kind of unnecessary skipping the last real cutscene, but
You know what else seems unnecessary? MGS5, but we're here. You probably knew that was coming anyway.
It's okay. It's okay. I still respect you.
I support that you are running this game for us. Someone has to do it, Stag. You're the hero we needed.
Oh no. I think we should have found someone else. There's better options, I'm sure. Okay, so this portion can get pretty scary. Just gotta keep these guys knocked down. So D-Horse is not supposed to be back here. By design, he's not supposed to be called here, ride here, anything. So we kind of sneak him in, and if the guards get aggressive on you, start really shooting at him and knock him down, you have to wait for him to get back up or decide to abandon him entirely, because you can't call him here. So if you run away from him after he's been knocked down, that's just it. You're not getting D-Horse back, basically. So you have to deal with level 1 Snake's run speed, and it takes forever to get anywhere. We're going to try a somewhat new strategy. I mean, it's not new, but it's new enough. We're going to throw some grenades here. Take these guys. Gonna equip this, take that out. And that's
sneaky.
That's scalded. Okay, we gotta reload here. Nope, get down.
Stag, you can't use the honeybee. It's a mission requirement.
I know, crazy.
But Ocelot, he said that we could use it.
He did.
Dang it! Why? How many? Did like any of the grenades hit you guys? Come on. Okay. Well, it didn't go right at all, but when you normally complete that mission, you get extra dialogue from Kaz, letting you know you can now call the chopper and everything. We found out very late during that grinding period a couple of years ago that you can actually skip that dialogue if you have the cigar equipped, since it'll trigger before Kaz's speech. But as you can see, it has a lot of potential to go wrong if the skulls aren't cooperating. But potentially, you can really speed up this mission because of it.
I imagine the statement, if the skulls aren't cooperating, is going to be a pretty common statement for this run.
I can be.
Yeah, not really.
I mean, I mean,
You can.
realistically, it should be no. Like, them getting away like that is probably more from me. Just, I probably was throwing those grenades poorly at the start.
Okay.
But
So you'd say the skulls are relatively consistent where they need to be.
I think so. There's one mission in particular later where, you know, it's a real boss fight with them, and they can move around more freely. Potentially, it could take a bit more time, but as long as I'm like focused and on top of things, we should be good. So with the honeybee mission clear, we're going to go to the worst mission, Occupation Forces. This is one of the big run killer missions, so I'm going to kind of focus here. Wizard, do you want to give a shot at explaining things as well as you can for it?
I can give it a try. So Stag will chopper skip because he spawns right next to a trigger. You're supposed to go to another place, but if you go to this direction, you can actually start the AI of the convoy, and they go to this direction. He'll put some C4 on the floor to destroy one of the tanks.
I don't think I put those in a good spot.
Hopefully, they will stop in the right place.
Yeah, not the best spot. Need a...
Yeah, a little too far away.
Yeah.
But, now I have to check some grenades to destroy that one. Damn it. Okay, so now hopefully the target didn't leave the truck. And he's a good boy, sitting here with his friend. Alright. Where's the other thing? Ooh, nice.
Oh wow! I remember watching one of you guys do this mission casually, and you'd go down, you'd place the bombs, and then nope, have to restart. Nope, have to restart. And I'm not casually practicing. I remember casually doing it, and like if you mess up, he just leaves, and that's such a frustrating mission.
Oh yeah, that's a really rough one. So that tank, the first one that we destroy with C4, we're pretty sure where it appears is based off of where your camera's positioned when you go to use the cigar. But frustratingly, even though he should die within the use of just like the stack of C4, just 4 C4, he often lives through that. So sometimes he'll just die immediately, and other times he'll drive off like nothing happened. And there's really no good explanation for it. So that really sucks. You have to start tossing grenades. But the other issue is Pequod can only take about 2 shells from those guys. So if he gets hit by the first tank, and then you have to hop in and ride off and machine gun the second one, you're probably going to get blown up, because that second one pretty consistently takes at least 1 shot at you. So if Pequod gets hit at all before you even lift off, you're probably restarting that mission.
Yeah, and the other two, the other tank and the truck, they can just stop all the way back, and you just have to reset because they take too long to reach you.
But you know, when it works, it's so beautiful. It's like when everything goes right. I really think that's one of the best looking ILs for this run, or at least segments of the run. But that's only when all the pieces fall into place, and normally you're going to be resetting back to phantom limbs from that mission. It's very frustrating. So
yeah, you did it first try, and that's pretty bog, if I can say that.
Go ahead, Sarge.
So 9.
I have to ask, one of the main quirks this game has is that every mission you enter, you have these wonderful credits for arbitrary unit A. Is there any speed strats actually based around like using them? Like, you know, at some point this is going to happen, which means you know this is happening in the map at that time.
So all that stuff is just letting you know what enemy types are going to be in the game. So like what types of tanks, if it's going to be the skulls or whatever. So, I mean, as long as you know the mission to begin with, that's not really something to worry about. So, unfortunately for us, there isn't anything to do with them. It's more just, you know, like any other run, just knowing what to do in that section. You kind of just treat it like a room in like the old Metal Gear games. Like this is, you know, room whatever on Chalet or whatnot. I know like other Metal Gears.
It's like walking into the communications tower in MGS1 and you just see featuring Sniper Wolf wrap around your screen.
Yeah.
So, someone asked, do you go for S rank in all missions? The answer is hopefully no.
Yeah. So ideally, in a perfect world, we're actually avoiding the S ranks. First, we need to rescue this guy. He's good for unit levels, and we're going to need that real quick. Hop on,
I didn't
buddy.
know you could do that to the Jeep. That was cool.
Yeah, usually I fail that shot. They just, like, the car gets hit somewhere else, and all those guys just hop out and go into alert. So that was nice. Glad it worked. Got to show off that nice spin out. So, yeah, we don't want S ranks throughout the run. If you get an S rank on a mission, at the end you get an emblem reward. So, you know, a little congratulations for doing well. But the way the scoring system works in Phantom Pain, a lot of it is based off of your speed. So if you're going fast, you should be getting S ranks. So later on in the run, we're actually going to be doing things to try to avoid getting the S ranks, like calling bombardments or something, or using this Phantom Cigar in order to lower our score enough to avoid that screen. There's portions where you can pull it off where it's no time loss and you can save time from getting an A instead of S rank.
When you say using the cigar, do you mean to pass RTA time or do you mean IGT time?
IGT, because the in-game timer is affected by reflex and by cigars going fast. So if your time was like bad in-game, you're not going to get an S rank. I shouldn't be using the cigar for that. It should just come down to bombardments, but that is a method that you could potentially use technically.
That's cool. I didn't know that the S rank was based on IGT.
Yeah. It's based off of your total score for the mission. So getting things like perfect stealth, no traces, number of takedowns, headshots, holdups, prisoners rescued, all those things contribute to your overall score. But time factors a lot of it. So you very easily can get S ranks on missions just by going quickly.
By the way, those ruins, they look like a place where a boss fight would take place.
Yeah, that seemed like a perfect spot for a boss fight. Maybe we'll visit that later for a boss. Wink, wink. But right now we're in a portion of the game called Quiet Skip. So we're going to be collecting some resources to skip something later on. We first need to grab things to develop items and things throughout the run. Pretty much everything we're going to be developing that requires like materials, we're grabbing right now and within the next couple missions. So we'll be doing development like an hour and 20 minutes, hour 30 minutes later, where we're still using the resources from this moment. But we need one other thing. So we have to go all the way to the power plants on this map to grab a delivery ticket there. So we've still got a bit of a ride. I've got to also get a few soldiers while I'm there. I don't know. Hey Sarge, how's the world of Ape Escape going? Anything interesting going on over there, man?
We're that desperate. Okay.
No, we're not desperate. You're here. That's like your big thing. You know, you got to be good to your guests, and you're filling in so kindly for us. So, you know,
I appreciate it. Actually, Ape Escape just got a new game, quote unquote new game. It got the PS4, PS5 release of the Japan and English release of Ape 1. English Ape 1 had never been digital before, so this is actually pretty big. It does require the new PS Plus thing to play, but it's great for the series because it means it's still at least getting something, and that's awesome.
That takedown.
That guy does not want to behave.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not. Unfortunately, it's slower than PS2 FDS, but it's still awesome to see that at least there's something, even though the company that made Ape Escape is gone now.
Well, I mean, that's so cool though that it's getting something like that. I don't know if maybe I just have like a skewed perspective, but Ape Escape being such a long-running series, it wasn't one for me throughout childhood I ever really heard anyone talk about. So it's cool to see that it actually has that fan base there, that it can still see support all these years later.
Yeah, it's awesome, and it's cool that oh no, D-Horse.
Or D-Horse.
It's fine. He's
actually
a trooper.
Someone asked you to say sorry to D-Horse.
What? Fine.
Yeah, because you tranked him.
He's used to it. What are our staff levels? Hang on. I'll get to that apology in a second. I got some stuff I need to do. So we're gonna move these guys here. We move you over here. Great. Okay, so double level 6. We can build the chopper upgrade. Let's do that. We're gonna move some of these guys over to R&D. We need at least level 7. We need Trank level 2. We need the Fakel. Equip that, and we can get Gold Tiger. You never see Gold Tiger. Let's have that. Okay, and now we actually want to get these guys over into base development. We need base dev level 9 for something. So we'll do that. And then I'm going to chopper skip over to red brass. Let's equip our fancy new camo. There we go. Looking good, Snake. Oh, I did forget something actually. Yeah, I didn't even make it. Crap. That's actually kind of bad. Let's go back.
So, would you say kind of like Peace Walker that the amount of GMP you get really is random and you just kind of have to hope you have enough? Or not just GMP. GMP works a little differently. Like the amount of, I guess, troop level. I don't. You know better what I'm trying to say. I imagine.
The early portion here is where it matters the most. Let's see, and I need. Okay. I didn't make them, didn't I? Yeah. Okay.
You did.
I did. Okay. Just didn't let me equip them. Yeah, it's because I did the chopper upgrade first. I'm still rusty. I've only been able to be back on the grind so long.
Someone said, "I wonder why Snake rides a horse instead of driving a vehicle."
Oh, well, that's because
it's faster.
At this point in time, we don't even have access really to vehicles. Like our Fulton stinks, so we can't really steal any. And D-Horse can travel over terrain. He can do running starts, whereas Jeeps you have to get in slowly. He accelerates faster. He can teleport. He's got a lot of advantages over vehicles. There's only one... there's 2 portions of the game where we're going to use vehicles. There's one section where it is genuinely faster, and the other is just because of the mission parameters. We kind of need it.
Which controls better?
That's actually a tough one. Okay, we should be good at 11. Hey, 11.
Vehicles like to drift a lot.
Nice.
Okay. I don't actually need these guys, but I'm just gonna take them out stealthy anyways, just for funsies. Hi, fellas.
And boom.
Oh,
there you have it.
I missed.
All 3 of them in one go.
Man, in any percent, you really don't care.
No.
Blow them up.
They knew what was going to happen. So we were talking about unit levels and stuff. So in the beginning here is where it really matters, because we want to get base dev level 9. It turns out if you get level 9 during this portion, you will actually... Yeah, unfortunately. If you get base dev level 9, it actually speeds up the development for the medical platform. But the problem was I had to undo that to redo the smoke grenade building, so probably lost out on that bonus, but it's fine. I know, like Metza said, there was some complication where if you go back after doing level 9, it ruins stuff, but we should be good. We're actually going to return to the ACC. Usually I just ride straight to the next mission, but I want to get those smoke grenades from here. Here we go.
Yeah, so we actually go back to a hero's way because there's a fast traveling point.
Yeah, very close by fast travel point.
Yeah.
Usually I would just ride there. I could even just supply drop the smoke grenades over, but I probably have to be waiting on them a little bit, and I don't want to have to do that. So we're just going to do all these extra checkpoints and loads. Should be fine. It's not like we're on blistering pace right now anyways, after having to pause on Phantom Limbs and everything. The checkpoint I had to take on Hero's Way, so, you know, we've got the time. It's okay.
Back on getting S rank on missions.
Oh, what else for S rank on missions? Did I forget something?
Like, literally, S stands for speed when you're doing ILs, but for full game runs, it's not really that great unless you're doing New Game Plus.
S is speed, but it's also S is slow. It's very contradictory for us.
Depends on your point of view.
Yeah. Let's see. We talked about unit levels. The only thing for materials we need are just common metals and fuel, just to build some stuff later on in the run. We already used a chunk of it to build like the Fakel and the smoke grenades. And we also need that stuff for ammunition for smoke grenades and a weapon we'll be building later on. But for now, we just have 2 minutes of downtime.
Yep.
Ideally, like if things are going well, you should be getting here with like 2 minutes left, so you can figure out when your timer is exactly. Because if you're coming in here and checking this, you can see that you have like I have a 41:55 and it clicked over. So at 42:55, I don't need to even wait for the message to pop up. I could just instantly fast travel and get it. But you know, marathon, we're just going to play it safe when that time rolls around.
If you actually teleport like too fast before the platform finishes, you can actually just kind of soft lock. I'm not going to say soft lock because you can start a Hero's Way again and just reset your game and you should be good.
Yeah.
But it's really not good when you're doing like PB pace or something. It's really bad.
Oh yeah. I mean, this whole section, it kind of determines
how good or bad the run will be.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going for world record times, you have to have the lowest timer possible to have a chance. In my PB that got deleted, rest in peace, old PB, I had a timer that was like a minute behind Metza's, and even playing like out of my mind the whole rest of the run, I only chunked away like 20 or 30 seconds maybe. So even though the whole rest of the run was like really good, because I lost the minute here for essentially no reason. I mean, it just kind of killed any chance that run had.
How early into our good run of this or attempts of this would you say you know before it's like, all right, this is just not going to be world record and there's no chance?
I mean, Live Split does the work for me. But
So
no,
if you just see like
like
plus 30, you're like, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, if all the other missions have gone well, like you didn't checkpoint on any of them, then you're looking good up until this point. You just kind of have to see like what timer you get, but like ideally, if you're doing everything well, you should get here on the best possible timer and keep going. But then the mission after the one we'll be doing, Pitch Dark, it's probably the other like major run killer, where if you don't get the big special trick first try, then that's another one where you know, okay, that this run's dead.
By the way, this was Quiet Skip. Look at that.
Yeah. So it's a exploit in the game. Right now I need this actually. What am I doing? Thank you. Okay, right now we can't fast travel at all in this part of the map. When we get to Africa, we'll actually be able to fast travel if we needed to for some reason, but we can't do it anymore in Afghanistan until we turn the game off. But the reason for that is it wants to funnel you to this side op, but the only way to get here is through those ruins we were at previously, and now Quiet is there waiting to attack you and start her boss fight. So the game stops you from fast traveling over to this portion. But because we were already in a mission when the medical platform was finished being built, and we met every other requirement, like number of missions done, we are able to fast travel before we, hit another checkpoint or anything that would force Quiet to appear on the map. And we're able to just bypass her completely.
Now we're going to use the best exploit in the game.
Yes.
The smoke exploit.
Yeah, so they took into account that they wanted you to be able to throw grenades and things into vehicles. And smoke grenades, when you're in stealth, they hide you. You can just hide in smoke grenades and not be spotted by guards. So if you chuck a smoke grenade into the floorboard of a vehicle, the smoke travels with you because the grenade is still there. So you're driving around invisible to guards. The only reason we get spotted there is because choppers blow smoke away.
Yeah, they're immune to that.
Yes, so because they blow the smoke out of the way as they approach, they're able to spot you. If it wasn't for the chopper, we would have gotten through that without ever being spotted. Like, they know a vehicle is driving around, but they can't actually see us. So they'll dive out of the way of the vehicle, but they'll never spot us otherwise.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like, if you go to, like, if you're driving, like, directly to a guard, he's going to drop to the floor, and he's going to be like, "Oh, I don't know what happened. A random vehicle, a wild vehicle appeared."
Mm-hmm. They're not very good at dodging the vehicle either. When it's stealthed out, they usually will actually dive into you. So if you don't want them getting splattered, you gotta avoid them.
Now, does hitting a person slow you down in the car?
No. It speeds them up. But no, it doesn't slow us down. It's more a matter of like for us, it's not an issue. But if you're going for perfect stealth, it technically should take 2 hits of the car to kill somebody. So the initial hit should put them in bleed out, and then if you hit them again, they would get killed. But sometimes you'll just like immediately do 2 hits to them because they won't fly away far enough from your vehicle, so you hit them and run them over almost at the same time. But if you're going for perfect stealth, it's something to worry about. For us, it's a speed bump.
Yeah, sometimes they just like to fly away, or they literally just go like 1 feet away from you and you hit them again.
Mm-hmm.
He dodged, so shout outs to that guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did go into you.
Now, there is one thing you do have to worry about, and it's that chopper that we saw a moment ago. You can hear it flying around us. If you leave too soon after throwing that smoke grenade in, hey buddy, that chopper can actually wind up spotting you. Pretty rare for it to happen, but it is something that you do have to keep in mind.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't want to wait around too long because the chopper can accidentally spot you later.
Mm-hmm. So I'm doing a checkpoint here because that throws Emmerich on the ground. We can cigar buffer and call the chopper, so Pequod will arrive faster than he would have if we just drove over there normally.
So that's another benefit of cigar buffering. You can actually pull up the iDroid right before the cigar activates, so you can use the iDroid calling bombardments or the chopper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, using it with the iDroid allows you to use parts of the menu that you normally wouldn't have access to while using the cigar, as long as you're quick enough with using it. If you're too slow, you have to exit the whole cigar in order to try again. So you got to be a little quick with your inputs. So now that Pequod has arrived, we're just going to drive over here. We're in stealth right now thanks to that cigar, or that smoke grenade rather. If you don't use a smoke grenade there, it's really hairy. You've got a really high chance of getting killed because of all the gunfire coming in at your Jeep. Your very, very frail Jeep. We're going to put Emmerich in the back, another smoke grenade, and suddenly Sally doesn't know where we are.
Yeah, the smoke glitch works on Sally for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm. See, Sally just has the same kind of vision as the guards. There's no propeller or anything on it. They didn't think of a propeller attachment, so can't blow the smoke away. So we're just invisible to it.
Only a flamethrower on the crouch.
Well, that was key. The whole thing doesn't work without that flamethrower. You got to understand. It's Emmerich's vision. It's necessary.
It's the she, by the way.
Well, I mean, we call it that because we nickname it Sally, but I mean it's a robot. It's like technically.
Yeah. Technically, you say it's her, so yeah.
No, that's true. Emmerich's a weird guy.
Yeah.
Emmerich likes his Sally.
He sure does.
You gotta give him that. He likes that, and he likes walker gear.
Very vital. all these robots are important.
Yeah, when the chopper goes down, you don't really need to worry about the UAVs or anything.
So I play with controller even though I'm on PC, but anytime I'm in a turret like this, I actually switch over to the mouse because the turret controls are just very slow on controller, whereas on mouse you can just go all over the place.
Is it a standard PC FPS style controls?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, by the way, call Ocelot while on the accelerating effect.
Yeah, that was a good call.
Get rid of the thing. Do it again. You'll say another line. Oh, he didn't say it.
Well,
A Soviet-made Metal Gear.
he decided to spot you.
Is Sally considered a Metal Gear?
Yeah.
Yes, technically.
So it is Metal Gear Sahelanthropus,
Mm-hmm.
which is more advanced than the most advanced thing the U.S. military ever came up with in 1993 with Rex.
To be fair, it doesn't work. Emmerich's grand vision of this bipedal
magic.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a plot point where this thing doesn't actually work. Like it's supposed to be in Rex mode to be used, and Emmerich just decided, hey, what if it just had this bipedal mode and it doesn't work? And it needs a child-sized pilot. Like the whole thing is flawed in every way you look at it because Emmerich he's not good at his job is kind of the point. he needs other people to bounce off of or steal from.
Yeah.
Sally has got to be top heavy. If you look at
Oh,
that
yeah.
design, there's no way it's even balanced.
No.
He copies the homework and just changes some things here and there.
Yeah. Yeah. So anytime we're at Mother Base, we're going to be doing a Mother Base related mission because this is the fastest way to get back to the ACC. So all this loading and skipping cutscenes is actually faster than calling a chopper and then riding all the way back to the ACC that way. The normal way that you're supposed to. Okay, and now we're going to go into Pitch Dark.
Controller.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's a bit of a clog grip. It's not the most comfortable thing in the world, but you got to do what you got to do to use the camera while you're moving and stuff. Yeah, I have to hit square a lot while also moving the camera, so.
Can you remap the controls for a better scheme or none? Fine.
I probably could if I really looked into it, but I mean, I'm fine. You're
used to it at this point anyway.
I've been playing video games for a while now. I'm kind of used to things like that.
Pitch Dark. We will get the warp first, right, Stag?
Why did you say that?
Jinx.
You owe me a couple sodas now. Because I'm pretty sure this came up in another run last week. So normally on this chop ride, the old way, we would have just had a nice quiet ride and didn't have to do anything. But strategies have changed a bit, and we actually need to do some mother base management. We actually need the support unit to rank up a bit, so we're going to grab a bunch of our dudes, move them there. A couple of you guys can go to Intel. Oh, you don't want it. You can go to combat then. Okay, so we need rank 9 because that unlocks bombardment from Mother Base. And we're going to be using that to take out one of our targets here. And then for D-Horse, fastest way to get him for this mission is to pull the camera down like that, and he spawns right in front of you. Doesn't really work anywhere else, but it works right here. And then you have to ride him through this jungle, and he gets caught on every single thing you can think of, and it's really frustrating, D-Horse.
Don't blame D-Horse.
Yes, it's all me.
If you're wondering why we're suddenly in a jungle, welcome to Africa.
Yes.
I don't know we even mentioned we're here.
Yes. So after interrogating Emmerich, we find out that Skullface's plans are mostly in Africa now. He's doing something in this region, so we finally head to this area to investigate. And our in, essentially, is to do some philanthropy work, or so we're told. So we're going to go ahead and ride up to here. We're going to call a bombardment on this target. And then we're going to ride off away from this the place we need to head. Hopefully this works. If not, I'm going to look a little foolish, but we're going to roll over here, adjust our camera a bit. Cool. First try. Skip that cutscene.
Nice.
Well, the game did not like that.
No, it doesn't.
What exactly was it you destroyed there?
The oil separator tank.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's one of the targets.
Yes. So I knocked out this guard. We're going to pick him up real quick.
And then when you do the warp, you actually disable the transfer pump immediately.
Yes, because that's the cutscene it puts you in. So,
yeah.
Which is very convenient, because if it was the other one where like the base gets locked down, it wouldn't really help us. We'd still have to get to this point. We're going to do some more shenanigans real quick.
Just set him up. Don't blink.
Alright, video games.
There I have it.
What? What the heck?
Alright, that's Pitch Dark. When it all works, that's Pitch Dark. Thank goodness. I'm so glad it worked perfectly.
Wow.
Everything went right. Amazing.
Don't ask.
Wow, when was that introduced? Because I hadn't seen that before.
Yeah, we've we've always known we could do like a soldier warp out of there, but there was never a viable way to do it, and we finally came up with a good method to do that. So let's to explain everything and answer question marks and huzz. We've got a mission here with like nothing going on, so we've got some time to explain. What we saw here was a PC specific glitch. This is only on the PC version of the game, and we think it has something to do with Windows 10 specifically, but we don't really have a way to prove that. But what happens is during Miller's dialogue there, and when the base loads, like when you hit the loading zone for that section of the map, there's a chance something goes wrong and you get warped into that cutscene. Like the game misreads a trigger for whatever reason and puts you into that cutscene, taking you all the way there. So if you were to like normally just blow up the separator tank without re-entering the computer room, the game would put you outside of the base because that's the last like viable location it remembers you being. It's like, okay, well, you were outside the base before. I haven't updated your location yet, so you must be outside the base still, and it puts you in the only spot it can. That would be like the closest to where you were previously. But when you re-enter the computer room, your position gets updated. So we used to go outside the base and ride off that way, but once we figured out you could do a good hang on, don't mind that. Once we figured out you could do a soldier warp, which is what you saw there for us to leave, we rerouted things a bit. What happens is we take that guard that we knock out and bring him to that outside area, throw a smoke grenade to remain stealthy. And if Snake picks up a guard who's laying on their stomach, and during that pickup he just so happens to fall down, the game screws up Snake's positioning and gets really confused, so that the next time you would like climb or mantle over something or lean against a wall, it updates, but it doesn't properly update to you. So it throws you into like the emergency loading zone at like the center of the Africa map, which is where we saw those walker gears just hanging out in the air with Snake when we loaded over there. So like that's the quick summarized version of that. I know it doesn't. Yeah. I know it's a lot of head scratching right now, but that's essentially what was going on.
It can also really vary the effect depending on what you do.
Yeah. Yeah, if you use it in Kaziba Camp when you're already there, it's completely different. Like Snake will float around objects instead of warping around. So it's not as useful there, but there's some sections where you could just leave a mission very quickly by using that.
Chat will be confused, but they're at least accepting.
Acceptance is the first step.
Yeah.
Okay.
The last mission Stack completed was Viscount. He just went there, rescued the target, and that's it.
Yeah.
And now we are at Footprints of Phantoms.
Yeah, the Lingua Franca mission that we just did, casually is one of the more frustrating missions. Checkpoints are kind of tied to when you leave and enter bases, and that whole mission area is considered one giant base. So you'll be going throughout your mission and never get a checkpoint. So you could be casually, like, 30 minutes into whatever it is you're doing, never leave the base to get a checkpoint, get spotted or killed, and then you're having to redo the entire mission. So for casual players, that's a really frustrating one. But because we know where the target is, we're able to just breeze through it immediately.
That was a nice one cycle too.
Yeah, so for this mission, as you can see, there's four targets we have to destroy inside of that base. So all we do is call in bombardments on them. We just need to ride far enough so that you're in the loading zone for them. Call in the first bombardment from far away. As it starts coming down, use a cigar so that you can call in the second one, and then all 4 will trigger at the same time, or all 2 rather, all 4 targets. From there, we leave the mission this way because it puts us right next to the starting point for the next mission. So it's like one of the only times we don't have to worry about going back to the ACC. So we're going to trigger the mission box here. Previously, we used to use D-Walker throughout this portion, but D-Horse is actually faster for these couple of missions just because of getting on him is so much quicker than it is D-Walker. If you've seen this mission previously, I figured out a different route a couple of years ago that I didn't get to show off very much. So instead of going over to the airport where the target is currently, we're actually going to ride over to this outpost over here. There's some soldiers I'm going to have to get rid of, to put it gently. We're just going to fire some grenades at things, hit our targets, Okay, there we go. So we're going to park D-Horse off to the side here. And we
Put
want
some C4 down.
Yes, very important, the C4. That's really the key to this whole thing is the C4.
Yeah. The Fakal doesn't have enough damage, I think.
No. Oh, no. Goodness, no. We need that C4 to work. We're just going to hide over here, out of sight, call a cigar. And, oh, hey, our target decided to leave that base. So instead of tracking them down, since we know they come over here, we just hide and wait for these guys to hop over here, blow them all up with the C4. That little rain lets us know we killed all of them, and we're free to drive. So now, we're going to drive off this way. We're going to drive...
Why do they go there?
So they jump to where you position your camera. So,
yeah.
So ideally, like when they first appear is where your camera is when they like are triggered to jump, because they want to jump in front of you to be in your line of sight. So we position the camera to look at the C4, and we're the right distance away for them to jump right there. Specifically, we fire the Fakel for extra damage and to trigger the C4, and bada beam, bada boom. Right here, this specific corner of the map is considered out of the mission area, so we just drive right here, and this is far enough to, even though we just crash into a wall, that's considered out of the mission.
This game is silly.
All right.
So, this is any percent. Is it more appropriate to call it minimum missions, or are we going to be doing every main ops? I'm gonna call it main ops.
So we're doing all the ones moving forward, but there were a couple of missions earlier on that we passed that we'd never need to go back for.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I did see. I think it was like 5 or something. You just never did.
Yep.
Yeah, over the fence and Angel with broken wings.
Okay. Cool.
So we're finally calling in D-Walker. He's been built and ready for a few missions now, but we're just now getting around to using him. You need to hang on that menu for a moment and watch him appear, because the very first time you equip him, he doesn't load in properly if you go too fast, and you have to go all the way back to the ACC to fix it. So you just give him a moment there to load in. We're going to go ahead, and once we're ready here, we're going to call him, and I'm going to switch my binoculars to, instead of using regular markers, they instead call bombardments. So I just aim at the wall over there, call it bombardment. That's going to give us A rank, and we don't have to worry about getting an emblem from this mission because we went too quick.
D-Walker not loading can be a huge problem in Metallic Archaea.
Yes, it can be. And since we used D-Horse the mission before, which is another kind of newish strategy, even remembering to equip him is pretty important. So this is a rescue mission. We have 2 targets we need to rescue. The first one is nice and healed, so we can Fulton him, no problem. Our second target, though, is...
Remember his face, though.
Yes.
He says it's not going to happen again.
we're gonna go over to our second target here, and because they're critically wounded, we have to get them to a chopper or leave with them in the field. So we're actually gonna go all the way to them, pick them up, and then we're gonna drive all the way out of this mission area.
Wow, I didn't realize how much of this game I had blocked out. Like, I'm gonna be open, I do not like this game casually.
What? You don't like this game? I never knew that. Oh my gosh, what a revelation.
You're showing me so much that this is in the video game.
Surprise.
Despite that, I am happy to be here. I am enjoying watching. I love learning. Even if I don't like the game, it's awesome to see just the things that exist in these games.
I'm happy to have you here because you're just so pleasant to chat with, Sarge. You know, we could probably talk about the weather and it would still be riveting.
We could probably talk about Oh No, the best game ever made.
Oh no. I mean, yeah, if you want an obscure PS1 Japanese auto runner where you push 2 buttons to win, yeah, play it, speedrun it.
And the Void, the best place in the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confused again. What?
I guess it works with D-Horse as well, but when you pick up a target and just leave without ever doing anything else with them, a lot of the time the game will just kind of flash back to where they last were, because, I don't know, loading is weird, triggers are odd. Fox Engine is an enigma.
So what you're saying is bring Fox Engine back?
Yes, please. Surely it'll be better. You know, I'll be honest, I haven't played Survive outside of the initial beta that they did eons ago. And Survive does show a little bit better what Fox Engine is capable of compared to Phantom Pain, just because they had time to do a bit more, and it was also just on current gen consoles. You have to remember, this is an Xbox 360 game. This game is on every platform you could think of.
Yeah.
It was PS3, Xbox 360, and PS4, and the Xbox One, including PC. So the fact that everything is as stable as it is good, but they had to make sacrifices for that, for it to run on everything. So in Survive, you can see, you know, a lot more like characters on screen, whereas here you're limited to like eight like soldiers, you know, before they start turning into fog and they have to get unloaded and stuff. It can't. Phantom Pain can't handle things as well as Survive because it had to work smoothly for the Xbox 360.
Yeah, probably more smoothly for the PS3. 360, I think, ran better than PS3 in a majority of games.
Yeah.
Yeah, PS3's weird architecture.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
Like,
so
go ahead.
does that mean the PS4 version for this, because it was re-released in the definitive edition, didn't really see any significant upgrades?
No, their priorities just weren't, you know, for that at that time. So the definitive edition is really just Ground Zeroes, Phantom Pain, and the DLC for MGO3, the Cloaked in Silence DLC for it. So outside of that, there aren't any other changes. I know for speedrunning on console, the definitive edition is worse because you get all the pre-order soldiers, including Kojima, right at the start of the game, and they have like a long dialogue cutscene for when you get Kojima that early. So you lose a bit of time on definitive edition because of that. But that's only for speedrunning. If we're talking casually, there's no difference between definitive or any other version of the game. We're taking out that guard tower with the grenade launcher because if it comes down while our chopper is here, it can actually destroy our chopper from collapsing on it. So we call the chopper here now. We unlock the door. Instead of picking it open, we use the grenade launcher to blast it open. We're going to grab this child, one of the targets. He's unable to walk because his leg is injured, and we need to get him onto the chopper.
To rescue.
Yes.
I thought he was Shabani, the kid you need to rescue on voices, but he's not.
No. I think I took too long calling him Pequod as well, so the guards aren't in the position I need them. Yeah, I'm gonna have to improv it.
Can be a big trouble.
Oh
my god!
Oh no.
And done.
Okay, so dismiss the helicopter real quick. I'm gonna just CQC you. Hopefully the chopper doesn't destroy me. So I got... This was actually some bad luck. I didn't call the chopper as soon as I should have. So even though if you're late, this guard will typically be where you need him, he decided to not cooperate. So we're gonna bring him over here, do this Fulton to flip him on his tummy. Oop.
Oh no.
I'm not close enough.
PowerPoint presentation. Too close.
Not quite right. Oh, this is actually pretty bad. Oh, Snake, please.
Yeah.
Now's not the time, bud. Okay.
No way.
Gosh dang, that was unfortunate.
No.
So now's a good time to mention this is the other run killer mission. You can probably figure that out looking at it.
So many things can go wrong with Blood Runs Deep.
Yeah.
The guards, they come close to the cells. You can't open it. And you have to take down the guard.
Yeah. So we're gonna call Pequod quickly now, which puts him at risk because there's an enemy chopper and it just shreds through Pequod, which is one of the big factors for why this mission could go wrong. We used to see Pequod get blown up all the time with alt routing. So now he should be okay, but what is with you, dude? Why are you doing what you're doing? Typically, I wouldn't worry about dismissing Pequod, but because things aren't going right, I don't want him here to get destroyed and have our target killed inside of him. Okay.
I don't understand, Slag. These guys are from Rogue Coyote.
It's true. And they're going rogue right now. More like aggravating Coyote, am I right? Haha, okay. Right here should be good. Okay. Instead of warping again, let's do this. This is funny. We're gonna hop in the trash can here. Climb out. Because Snake is displaced right now, we don't get put in properly, so we actually wind up underground, and we just dive out and leave.
And that you exfiltrate before you die? What?
Mm-hmm.
So, is there
there's no floor.
Plane?
Why would I die? There's no floor down here.
I don't know. I expected Snake to fall into the void until he died. Nope, guess not.
So you can actually walk around down there. There is an invisible floor at the bottom of the map. So you just are walking through the void. So normally, we should die, but we do thankfully exfiltrate before we would actually land and take damage.
And of course, we went with the chopper. We didn't just,
No, we don't. Not this one.
Exfiltrated through the floor.
Yeah. Yeah. So that cutscene is actually affected by the number of kids you rescue, because when you're playing, you're expected to rescue all the kids. If they die, that's a game over. So you're supposed to save all of them, but it knows if you've only saved one or two. So in that cutscene, if you've only saved one kid, there's only one kid, and he has to play the part of two different kids. He'll be the one that steals the gun from Miller one moment, and then immediately he's on the stretcher the next moment getting rolled away.
I actually never saw that before.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool they took that into account, but at the same time, what? Okay, we turn around for calling D-Walker there because it spawns him right next to us. and we're going to go off in this direction. So this is another elimination mission. You're supposed to go trail somebody to find out where a target is and to pick up some additional intel about what's going on here in Africa. Since we already know where the target is, we're going to manipulate him to go to a spot where hopefully, if things go right, we'll just kill him with bombardment, because that's the secret to any percents is bombardment. How to beat a mission?
He likes to
bombardment. Yes, this mission, I think this is probably the one where you can just throw your hands up and go, yeah, that's RNG. Because there's just times where you do everything right, and for whatever reason, things don't work. The chopper will sometimes just be over here, shooting at you while you're smoking a cigar. The target just doesn't get hit by the bombardment. Things can get wacky. So even though this is a very simple mission, somehow this is a run killer, even though that's it. That was the whole mission. And this one's a run killer for no reason, just because it's one of the ones that does have actual RNG to it.
Wow.
It was so funny that time when you did a bombardment and he was just like chilling in one of the tents.
Oh yeah, if something goes wrong, especially the weather, like if the bombardment doesn't kill him but it takes out the chopper, the target will go hide in a tent. And for whatever reason, the bombardments, no matter how close to the tent they are, will never hit a target hiding inside a tent. So you'd have to ride all the way up there or redo the mission in order to finish it.
It's a bunker, but above ground.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I also like Wolfenstein's comments about the kid getting severe burns from Kaz. That's pretty good. That's a good one. That's a certified Twitch comment right there. Okay, next mission. Oh, go ahead.
Voices, right?
Yeah, voices. Another
I think
long
it's
one.
so funny because Miller says one of the kids. So did you rescue more than one kid? And I didn't saw them.
Yeah, that's the thing. They take account of it in that specific cutscene, which it's smart, good, but dialogue doesn't change. It's still expected that you've saved all those kids. So our mission here is given to us by all the children we rescued in the previous mission. I should have just done ASAP. Yes, all one, many of them.
The sole survivor of Kunganga Mine.
What a title. Okay. So another chopper skip as always, and when we're here, call up D-Walker.
You get
bombardment
by Ocelot right at the start of the mission.
Yes.
He tells you that there's only one way to the objective area. And of course, that's a lie. You actually just end up losing time if you go the way that the game wants you to.
Yeah. I think at the same time, though, maybe it was just me, but this was when I first played through this game, I was really at a point where it's like, okay, if a game tells you to do something, maybe do the opposite because you could find something interesting or whatever. So when Ocelot's like, hey, you go through that, that's the only way, I pulled up the map and was like, okay. But there does seem to be this little bit right here that you can get through. Maybe I should go check that out. And turns out that's legit. This is the speedrun way. You just come through here. We'll be visiting this spot later, but this is a nice shortcut. It entirely skips those bases that are behind us now, and has a more direct path to our target.
I'm trying to remember these missions by their names. Voices sounds like the one where you go in the tunnel, but that's probably way later.
No,
we go to
you're right. Yeah,
that
well
is
done.
okay.
Yes.
All right. That means we have a great strat coming up, if I recall correctly.
Yes, we do have a funny one. Nice speedrun strategy. Makes things quick, but first we got to get through this valley, and thankfully we have a trusty D-Walker here who's very sturdy. So there's all these guys here that absolutely hate our guts, and we're just going to drive through all of them, take in enemy fire, and we're going to be a-okay, because D-Walker is beefy.
Kind of funny because the guards that next to those fences, they would just go by. They sometimes just don't spot you for some reason, but other times they just decide to see you. I don't know. It's Fox Engine RNG at its best.
All right. If you call D-Walker earlier, he spawns up here. If you call him a little later, sometimes he'll spawn closer. So we got the good spawn. We open up that gate by shooting the explosive barrel next to it. Just jump in through the doorway there. Nice landing. Good parking. And then we're going to skip a cutscene by mercy killing someone there. They would die in the cutscene anyways.
What? Mercy killing with
Mercy! Look, Jello! There's the strawberry jam I was talking about before.
Oh man, someone messed up making that PB&J.
Yeah, see, they weren't using a knife. That's what happens if you try with your hands. Remember to use utensils, kids. I'm gonna run back over here, hop on D-Walker. I'm gonna ride through the fire, take a bunch of damage from that. I'm gonna stop over here, just kind of chill out for a moment. Wait for the man on fire, our big boss. Hello?
You're on a roll with fun.
Oh, thank you. Hey, buddy. Bye, buddy.
He does look like a character that we've seen before.
He does look familiar. I don't know, something about the cut of his jib does remind me of somebody. But he needs to cool off, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger joke. We knock him into the water, and that's boss completed. And when he's knocked out like that, we're able to leave through the cave.
Defeated.
Defeated is the monster. Alright.
There's all kinds of... If you look on the internet for ways to beat him, there's all kinds of great ones. Like, isn't there a way to, like... You get, like, a water pistol in the game that you could just hit him with and win.
Yeah, it's a big hint, actually, that you're going to be encountering him again. Because right before that mission, after you save the kids, is when you can develop the water pistol. So it kind of lets you know, hey, this might be useful for something coming up.
The glitch water pistol is the best.
Oh, for weapons glitch? Wish we could see that in this run.
Yeah. Essentially, you can put like a 12 GA magazine on your water pistol, and that does like extra damage on the men on fire.
That's beautiful. Did I get that support? Yes. Perfect. Alright, we got our support level back up. Good stuff. This is the only...
just developed the Groom 11, a rocket launcher we're going to use later. Now, right at this mission, we're going to use Mission 21 to snipe one of the guys, and he developed the Gatling gun for D-Walker for Metal Gear.
That's the last bit of development we'll need to do. Hopefully you don't have to do any more base management, but I might sneak one in. My split says equip RPG Danet, so we've done that. That's good. Okay. So
do trick shot because of style, or not?
Is this the one with the official landing at the airport in the helicopter?
Yes. So we're... Yeah, it's a tough mission, casually. Very interesting, though. There's a lot of stuff going on here and in the base. But what we're going to do is actually eliminate this guy like right at the start of the mission. So we're going to call D-Walker, and we're going to drive over yonder. And we're going right to the loading zone. Like, this is the very edge. The closest point we can get to where this guy loads in. Just going to hop off D-Walker here. Zoom in. That might be a little too far to the right. Oh, got him. Okay, cool. Target down. And then we're just going to go over here and leave the mission. We do need to use our cigar really quick, because this mission, the first time you go through it, actually another mission opens up. If you're in the mission too long or get too close to the base, an alert goes off that there's an attack on Mother Base, but we need to have that triggered in order to unlock that mission. If we don't do the cigar there, because we get through things so quickly and we never go close enough to the base, we never triggered that mission unlocking. So you have to use the cigar for it to actually unlock for us to progress the game.
Dang. I think last time I watched the speed strat for that, you guys used a sniper, but that might have just been someone casually playing. So seeing it done with a rocket launcher is even better. I guarantee it.
If you want to see how development's going, come take a look for yourself.
Yeah, there's like an extreme version of that, I believe, and that's the one I hate. Trying to S rank that extreme was so painful.
It's total stealth, yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
There's snipers everywhere. It's awful.
Yeah, so if you use speedrun strategies, there's easy ways to go about it, but it's a tough one. That mission is pretty difficult. All right, so
Doing all this can be a bit of a bad time.
Yeah. Since we're already on Mother Base, this is a Mother Base mission, so we can just go straight into it instead of having to go to the ACC. So there's
this one, Base Episode 2.
Should I go for the shot that I'll miss horribly?
I don't know, Sarge, what do you think?
Of course.
Okay.
It's a marathon. You have to.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we were doing good on time, but if we lose a bunch, that's fine, probably. So...
How much we talking?
It depends on how poorly things go. So if I get it, it'd be a miracle. But there's a trick shot you can do. Let's see. Maybe? Nope. So technically, you can actually complete this mission from the chopper. The mission would end as soon as you hop off here. Would be the last little bit of dialogue. But you can snipe Mosquito, the target, all the way from the chopper if you're fast enough and lucky with your aim. But typically that never works out. The only issue is sometimes when you go for that shot, he moves too far away for that shot, the actual strategy, to work. So it's a little bit of a risk going for it in runs, but if someone gets it during a run, that's crazy time save.
I respect the attempt.
No, thank you. No one's ever hit it in a full game run yet, but I really think if someone gets it on a really good pace, world record pace, and they get that, that's it. That time's never gonna get beat.
So what is this, 15-second IL for even shorter than that? It has to be crazy.
Yeah, it's 1 minute.
Yeah, because it takes into account the chopper ride and all the dialogue from Kaz at the end. But the actual time playing, yeah, it's really, really short.
So now Miller would just talk about how he needs a defense for the Mother Base and construct a FOB. It's going on and on. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't trust this guy. He talks about comrades he's lost. And
Comrades' arms,
dangerous God
revenge.
won't stop hurting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is your introduction to the FOB mode. Lets you know how that all works. And that's what that mission we just did was. Now we're going to go on to the White Mamba and see a familiar face for the series. He's a little younger than what you may have seen earlier in this weekend marathon, but he's still as plucky as ever.
Never
This
be
isn't
game
Portable Ops. What do you mean? Campbell's not here.
Oh man, young Roy Campbell. He's when I had played Portable Ops as a young teenage man, I always wanted to be able to play as Roy Campbell because his design really struck a chord with me in that game. I thought he looked rad as heck. But
I agree. He looked dope in that game.
Yeah, but I did not have the secret hacking code, whatever, to get him. And as he, Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You can just get him in Plus, can't you?
Yeah, you play Plus, he's there.
Yeah.
Everyone's there. You can even
Yeah,
play the
everybody.
acid characters in Plus.
Yeah, Old Snake. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, the acid characters, the acid characters are in original Portable Ops, though, aren't they? As a cheat code.
I believe they are both cheat codes. Yes, Talico is for sure. I don't know if Venus is in the original Portable Ops, but Talico is. Yeah. Talico being the female companion from Acid 1, for anyone who does not know that. Venus is the female companion for Acid 2.
So we did a mission.
That's good to know.
We just did a whole mission during that. I need to do some staff management.
A bit of a
quick.
problem. If Eli decides that he's going to ruin your day, he's going to ruin your day.
Yeah.
You're definitely supposed to fight him, right?
Yes, you have like a. Ideally, you know, the way they expect you to go through it the first time is you have a big CQC battle with him. But because, you know, they let you do this however you want, you could potentially just do what we did and take him out before he even notices that there is a fight to have. We actually trigger him a little earlier than you would have seen in previous runs. When you get near the boat at the very bottom there, if you whistle for D-Walker, it makes enough sound for Eli to pick up on that, and he'll leave his throne room a little bit sooner than he would normally. Because normally it would have been up, but he would have to hear us running on the second floor there, or the deck. But because of the whistle, he comes out a little sooner, so we can speed up the mission ever so slightly. And then I did a little bit of base management at the end, just to avoid some alerts about getting staff for the security unit.
Yeah, like with White Mamba, if you somehow do too much noise, he will like sound his shell or something. I don't know. He sounds something when you do too much sound, and he will actually spot you if you go too close to him.
Yeah,
Kill that.
Sometimes he bugs out really bad. He'll spot you when you're completely behind him, like out of sight. It's very odd. I don't know why it happens, but sometimes you just get
completely still for you to do that shot. It's so annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a reset if he spots you, or do you just play it out?
If he spots you, you would normally checkpoint, but if he bugs out in a way where he's always spotting you behind his back, then that mission is just bugged, and you kind of have to play it out in a slow way where you have to kind of wait for him to move to a different spot so you can sneak up and fall on his head to knock him out.
You're doing close contact first?
Yeah, just because that's still what my splits are. CQC. Okay.
CQC time, that guy didn't even saw you.
Shoutouts to that guy who didn't see the D-Walker plow through his friends.
Yeah. What was that noise?
What was that just now? So, we took that shot at the tent there, and the way guards work in this game is, depending on the level of revenge system, they are distracted like a certain amount of time by like the initial sound they hear. As long as they don't have eye contact of you, they can't get distracted by other noises you make. So we can actually shoot the tent first, make that initial distracting sound on that guard, and he'll be so focused on that tent that he doesn't get vision of us, and so we could just kind of sneak up on him that way.
I didn't realize the what'd you call it? Vengeance system? It's the thing that turns you into a demon. I didn't realize how intense that was. That runs a lot more systems than I thought.
Yeah, the revenge system takes a lot into account. It'll change how guards react to Fultons, what kind of equipment they're carrying, how they react to sounds and investigate things. Like on a very low revenge system, guards will meander if they spot you. Like if they spot you at a distance and they haven't triggered an alert, you know, they'll just kind of slowly, casually walk in your direction. You can like move out of the way and they won't follow you. But on High Revenge, they sprint after you and they'll follow you around. They just go crazy after you.
Is the revenge system in Africa different or separate from the one in Afghanistan, or is the game run on one system?
It's all on one system. So even though it would make sense for it to be separated, and for consistency's sake, they just made it all entirely one system.
Yeah, it can change a lot of the behavior of the guards. If you photon too many of their friends while they're looking, they will have a quicker response time to destroy the photon. And they'll start using helmets if you do too many headshots.
Yeah,
Kind of cool. You can do some missions separately, dispatch missions, to mitigate a bit of that.
That would mean that when doing like ILs in this game, you actually need nice. You just flip the kid.
CQC. CQC. How are you not close enough, CQC? Again, I didn't mean to wake you up earlier. And then this guy, hey, CQC. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to distract you.
No, it's all good. It was just me flubbing.
All
right, not as clean as I'd like, but we're CQC.
So that means that were you doing ILs in this game, you actually, for some ILs, you might need to go into a zone and make it hot, or you might need to wait for everything to cool down to get an optimal IL then.
Yeah. Yeah, it's much easier to adjust the revenge system down, actually, than it is to raise it. Because to lower it down, you can... Wow, I did not want to drift there. You can just... complete missions quickly in stealth is one option. Another much simpler option is to equip the chicken hat, the Luigi mode of the game, and complete missions with that. And it rapidly will decrease the revenge system. Dispatch missions as well can also lower specific aspects like whether or not they carry shotguns or have landmines. But to get guards to start placing that stuff means you kind of have to play in a way for a few missions where they want to start building specific things. So depending on the strategy, you may need to actually play around a bit to get them to behave a certain way for a strategy.
Boss, we have an emergency. Many of our staff are
They really, one of the things I was talking about yesterday is if you watch the whole series as we've played through it, the jump from 1 to 2 is striking, and then 2 and 3 are kind of similar. And then you come to today, and you hit 4, and then you go completely different with Peace Walker, and then you go to 5, and you can just really see how they developed the systems, how the games turned more action-oriented, more mission-oriented. It's very interesting to follow the flow of the games if you watch them all go through.
Yeah, 4 in particular is really the jump, because even with 2 and 3, even though they are a big jump, they still have a lot of similar aspects to 1, in how the game kind of works. A lot of the top-down stealth action of MGS1, but 4, everything changed with 4. The control systems are completely different, cameras different. There's really no more of that fixed camera except in specific sequences. It's completely different beast. How you obtain weapons through the item shop sometimes is completely different from the other games where you'd have to procure them yourself. It's pretty crazy, the leaps that the series has made.
Someone handed Konami a magic box and Konami said, "Watch this."
Yeah, essentially.
So Miller was briefing Snag about the infection that was spreading through Mother Base, but who cares? We just look at it and say, yeah, fine. And we just can drop down to mission 20. I forgot.
Yeah, mission something or other. Elimination mission. So that was on the trail.
That's all that I remember. It's Hell's mission. I don't like it.
Yeah, you can really flub that mission if you misplace the bombardment, or okay, if you go for like fast strategy is to actually cigar buffer and then use the bombardment and try to place it like immediately. But you know, if you're too slow, the target's going to move out of position and you kind of botch the whole mission because of it. So fast strategy saves a bit of time, but you could potentially like lose the run because of a little mistake. You know, depending on like what your PB is and how good you're doing.
Oh,
And isn't that every video game?
Yeah, that's
Rescue
true.
Intel Man.
Yes. So
Do you guys remember the face of Intel Man?
yeah. So in this mission, there's an intelligence guy that we need to save from our squad, an intel operative. So casually, when you first go through this, you probably get the outcome where he steals a truck and then winds up crashing and dying from injuries. But today, he gets to live because we're going to get up here, we're going to rescue him before he even gets in this truck. So we're going to pick him up here very gently, very carefully. He's going to get shot a couple times, but you know, that's okay. It's not a car crash, so he gets to live. We're going to just drive over here. Mission exit is right around the corner, and this is going to be mission complete for us.
I mean, he survives, right?
Yes, as long as he doesn't crash, he gets to live.
Yeah.
But
no, man.
Oh no, the void. So he survives that, but for the 80% run, what we just did, you know, that's very easy, as you can see. Getting through quickly with perfect stealth, though, if you're doing that run, is a lot harder because of the guard placements. It can be a lot stricter to actually get through that quickly. But for like the difference between the two, just based on category, is pretty intense.
Now we know exactly what we need to do. We need to visit an old man named Code Talker.
Yes.
Go to his mansion in Lufla Valley.
Yes. So Code Talker has the cure for the disease that our men are now suffering from. So to do that, we're going to phase through his floors in order to make contact with him.
Yeah. D-Horse.
Yes, D-Horse. Once again, D-Horse rides with us into battle. Old, reliable D-Horse. Never done me wrong.
Never once.
Never once.
You still haven't answered the question. D-Horse or Jeep? What's better? What controls better?
Oh, man. Technically, I would say D-Horse controls better. I would say D-Horse. But because of how much more we use D-Horse and how much more we have to rely on him behaving, which he doesn't, you know, there's a lot more backlash. See, it's just not proportional, because like D-Horse, honestly, I think D-Horse is like one of the best video game horses there's been. Like, I haven't played Red Dead 2 in particular yet, but up until this point when the game came out, like, D-Horse is one of the best horse companions I think I've played in a video game. But the issue is that once you turn on to the speedrun perspective, and you need him to, you know, not stop at every little rock, not freak out and jump at things, suddenly he has a lot of problems that weren't there casually. And that's kind of the problem with him. Because otherwise, D-Horse is an incredible companion, controls well, great designs and animation. But from a speedrunning perspective, it falls apart a little bit. Speaking of, buddy, I'm just... You son of a gun! You I am trying I am trying to compliment you, and you do this? How dare you, D-Horse? How dare you?
Take everything back. Give me the Jeep.
To be honest, Venom can cause some trouble too.
Yes, that's true. For the wall clip, D-Horse and Venom are both cause their share of problems, but thankfully, first try for realsies. Alright.
Yeah, Stag just checkpointed that because we are forced to walk in this section. But if he checkpoints, we can just run.
Yes. They expect you to, like, you know, if you're checkpointing, you've
To the
probably
dialogue.
heard the dialogue. Like, there's no reason to checkpoint unless you've already heard it. So they expect you to have already heard that. If you use a checkpoint, that's great. It's very, very merciful of them. Okay, we're just gonna go for it. Cool. You got. Oh, I forgot to call
Nope.
D-Horse. I'm very good. Here, boy. D-Horse. Not over here. What are you doing? Don't run. Okay.
Oh my god.
This is
You need to be careful with the puppets because if they hit you hard, you stop. Oh no.
No, we're good. We're good. Everything's golden. Easy peasy.
So if you get hit, I assume Code Talker would fall off the horse, or at least there's a chance.
I can't remember if he can get knocked off the horse. He can die on there, that's for sure. If he gets hit, hit a
that was
couple
a little
times.
bit more of a concern then.
Yeah. But when Venom is carrying him, Venom will wind up dropping Code Talker if he gets hit while carrying him.
Oh, don't worry. I recognize this area from Survive, and I know full well what happens when you get hit while carrying someone in the Fox engine.
Let's see.
Oh boy.
Redeemed for 500 points. Ask Runner a question. Are you a Dane nerd? Well, technically, I guess. I mean, look what I'm doing. Look what I'm doing right now,
nerd.
and tell me I'm not a nerd. This is some nerdy stuff right now. I'm talking about how guards behave in a video game if you shoot a trank dart at a tent. That's a pretty nerdy thing. Did you say nerd?
Calculate the parabola of this Mark 22 bullet I just fired at a 75 2-degree angle into the sun. You'll see it'll strike this guard over here. Never mind, airstrike.
Why calculate when bombardment go burr?
It's like we could just airstrike it. You know, I like that. Do that.
I like that. So, it is one of the reasons though. Like if I had the chance to show off this game at like a big event like Games Done Quick or something, I'd really honestly prefer. I don't need Chopper skip this. What am I doing? I do need you though. I'd prefer to have New Game Plus, honestly, because even for the perfect stealth run, we call a lot, or any percent even, but we just call a lot less bombardments in general. They have their use for a couple of instances, but the weapons we have, the gear and equipment, is just so much above what we can do that New Game Plus Perfect Stealth, we just do a lot of crazy stuff without having to resort to bombardment every time.
Before it gets lost, we did get another question from Really Frame. What's the major differences between console and PC? Any percent?
Well, as long as they're both, like, you know, we're talking about the same patch, it really just comes down to loading time. The only other major difference is with the Pitch Dark Warp, because the Pitch Dark Warp is PC exclusive. So if you're on console, you have to use a different strategy for Pitch Dark. That please stop. That you wouldn't have to even consider on PC. So console, you know, has that disadvantage. But the main thing really is just load times. That's really what it comes down to. Otherwise, the games are pretty identical.
And this game doesn't separate console-wise, right? It's just PC Master Race for this one?
I mean, like on the leaderboard, we have it separate because we do go by real time. So if you're running on console, you are on the console board, and you do have like the separated leaderboard. Cool. And you know, depending on patch, you can use the same strategy as I'm using, as long as you're on the original release version. But
Disc 1.0.
Yeah, that's like 1. It's 1.01 on PC. I think it's 1.02 on console, maybe, but they're essentially the same. There wasn't any glitches fixed in that time. I think there were a couple bugs though, like there was a save bug really early on that got patched out quickly.
So in the last mission, that's why we developed the Gatling gun for D-Walker, just so you can completely destroy the skulls.
Yeah. I didn't realize it until I took the night vision off, but I almost lost that mission because D-Walker was pretty dang rusty by the end of it there.
Yeah,
he was not looking healthy.
the skulls, they release the metallic archaea, and that can destroy D-Walker. And also, dropped in 1800 because he can use the night vision goggles to see the skulls through the smoke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Otherwise, without the night vision goggles, it could be really hard to see them in that smoke. And during daytime, with the grade 1 night vision, you just wind up kind of blinding yourself instead.
Yeah.
It's counterintuitive. I mean, it works the way it's supposed to, but for our sake, it's counterintuitive. So it's better to drop in at night so you have an easier time on that one.
So 30, school face.
Yeah, so
This
coming
one
up.
is quick.
Yeah, we're coming up on the end of the run. We only got a couple missions left now.
Final stretch.
Yeah, we're going to call him Bombardment here. Just toss it anywhere. It can go there. It doesn't matter. Then I'm going to change my unit levels. Just to all staff. Just shuffle you guys around a little bit. Throw some dudes here. Maybe a couple more. There. And that's going to make it so that when I do finally complete the last mission, I should get less alerts from the new S-rank staff we'll be getting. Hopefully less development alerts than I would normally. So we should be able to end things a little bit faster once we get there. But outside of that, this is a really straightforward mission. We're just as long as I don't fall in the big elevator shaft at the end,
no.
everything should be okay. Yeah.
You said it this time.
I did say it this time. No, but what are the odds, though? I mean,
I know that is a real, actual thing that can happen.
Yeah.
There's multiple clips of people posting in the MGS5 channel, just in the pit.
Yep.
There it goes.
This is me in my pit. You're probably wondering how this happened. It all started when I developed D-Walker instead of D-Horse.
So, I gotta ask, this mission on any percent, you're clearly just running through it, you don't care. How would you rate this mission on perfect stealth, no kills? Because I distinctly remember when I platinumed this game on PlayStation 3, this mission was hard to stealth through.
So
It's pretty much the same thing.
yeah, surprisingly, it's actually very similar because of the power of smoke grenades. So on New Game Plus, you have the option to use a Jeep if you want, but you can stick with D-Walker, and you can technically throw a smoke grenade and make it stick on top of D-Walker. It's tough to do, but it's possible. So you can throw a smoke grenade on top of him, and guards will notice D-Walker and shoot at him, but they don't spot you specifically. So you don't trigger the alert even though these guys are all freaking out and firing at you.
Well, shows me what I don't know.
I mean, it's not something a lot of people know of. It's not until you look at the speedrun stuff do you see it's like, oh, so it is all smoke grenades. I see. Who would have thought?
I can't believe
Yeah, you can use the parasite mist during the chopper ride, and that makes the time for any percent and purpose stuff being pretty similar.
Yeah, that's also a really good option. I always forget about that one.
I can't believe you skipped the best cutscenes in the game where you just sit in a truck listening to Skullface play music and literally dialogue to you for 16 minutes straight.
Yeah.
Here's Sins of the Father.
Hey, this whole series is all codex when you get down to it. It's basically the same.
Okay, final mission.
Yeah.
Lunch.
Sally.
I'm gonna let you boys take this one because I have no clue. I'm just in for the ride here.
Well, if everything goes right, we'll get a nice one cycle. And if things don't go right, pray. So we're going to hop in D-Walker here and immediately not bump into this wall. We're going to start going down this way. And down here, move that, blow that up preemptively. Down here is this tank.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to talk about the strategy we use for this guy?
Yeah, so we want to put Cell like kind of far away so we can hit him with all the rockets. Hopefully he will stop and be a good boy. Ooh, good girl. But no, yep, of course not. So instead we have to back up. Why is he using the flamethrower? That's not good. So Steg is waiting for
wow,
Sally
that was
to open
really
chest.
bad luck.
Am I crazy, or is his health bar really small?
No, you're not crazy. He's in this initial fight. It's pretty tiny. There is an extreme version though that has a much larger health bar.
Oh, like I meant like it just I must not remember it because the name and the health bar, it seems so small tucked up there, but that's just what it looks like.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what you want here in the fight is that Sally needs to open its chest so we do more damage, crazy enough, and hopefully Steg can lock in a cycle of opening his chest, screaming like crazy, and doing it over and over again.
Yeah, so the big chest here is the big weak point we want to try to go for.
You can try and shoot like the other parts, like the tubes in the back, to do a bit more damage, but that's about it. So there's the animation that he wants. It's going to stagger Sally, and then it's probably... Nope, it's not doing it.
Yeah, some bad luck. Usually you get a second opening of the chest there. This attack is really bad, because those have lingering hitboxes where after you destroy them, those missiles technically are still on the screen, and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, there he threw a metallic archaea grenade. But hopefully Steg will survive long enough to destroy it. And
Barely. Nice. Got the one cycle.
nice.
First try.
First try. Alright, we're gonna just gonna funny joke skull face real quick.
Skip some
There we go.
cutscenes.
Yep. Okay.
Emotional scene.
Emotional. If you're quick enough, which I wasn't there, you can actually get the shot off without the memory cutscene triggering right there.
And we'll come right up
Unit function added.
after a cutscene.
Development
Yeah, so we'll have another cutscene to skip, and when we get to the credits, it will be time. So it's coming up really fast here. Like, here's the end cutscene. Skip. Okay, time.
GG Steg.
Don't know whoever started this. I don't know why they decided we had to skip that cutscene, but there you go. Alrighty. Underestimates. That's what matters.
Nice. Congrats on the run. Thanks for showing it off. That was it was fun to hang out here. I'm glad you had me. And I'm glad you got to show those off.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, especially on such short notice. I know I wound up talking most of the time, but I really appreciate you guys being here and supporting me and taking care of things when I did need a focus. It helps a lot.
It's fine. I think you did a better commentary than I did, honestly.
No. I talked more. That's the only difference.
Oh, we got one last question. What's your favorite hamburger?
You got our maxi buns.
Yeah, chemical burger. I don't know. I'm pretty simple, dude. I just like, a nice cheeseburger. Maybe add bacon. I don't know. There's lots of ways you can have a burger, but as long as it comes out good,
Meal.
it's perfect. Veggies and meats. It's got to be healthy. All right. Well, thanks again for tuning in, joining in. We've got more speedrun action coming up soon.
Metal Gear Rise.
Yes.
Thank you for that one, Steg.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, as Steg said, we got the finale coming up next, Metal Gear Rising with Vengeance, so stick around, we'll be right back.